Excuse me, move, please.
Don't spill. Don't spill. Come on, Derek. Whoa! Hey! Oh! Oh! Nice going, old man.
They laughed at him. They called him slow. They told him to get out of the way. Then a black car stopped outside, and 3 minutes later, the whole office went silent. This is the story of a man named Walter, and the secret he kept for 12 years. Walter was 61 years old. Every morning, before the sun came up, he unlocked the doors of Harlan Tower. He pushed his cart down the long hallways. He wiped the glass doors. He emptied the bins. He mopped the floor by the elevators, always in the same corner, always in the same order. Most people who worked in that building did not know his name. To them, he was just the cleaner. Some said good morning. Most walked past him like he was part of the furniture. Walter never seemed to mind. He came in quietly. He left quietly. Nobody asked him a single question about his life. But Walter had a secret. And nobody in that building had any idea what it was. It was a Monday, the kind of Monday where everyone was in a rush. Phones were ringing. Printers were jammed. Someone had forgotten to bring donuts for the client meeting, and the office manager was panicking about it in the break room. Then, at exactly 8:45 a.m., an email went out to the entire company. A private investor will be visiting the office today. Please be professional. This visit is very important. Nobody knew who the investor was. Nobody knew what company he represented. All they knew was that this person was rich, powerful, and deciding whether to put a large amount of money into Harlan Tower's biggest project. Suddenly, everyone was polishing their desks, straightening their ties, rehearsing their best smiles. Walter kept mopping the hallway near the elevators, just like he did every single day. Nobody noticed him at all. At 9:10 a.m., a young employee named Derek came sprinting around the corner with 2 cups of coffee, one for himself and one for his boss. He wasn't looking where he was going. He crashed straight into Walter's cart. Both coffee cups flew into the air. Brown liquid splashed across the marble floor, and across the front of Walter's shirt. For a second, the hallway went quiet. Then people started laughing. Nice going, old man, someone said. Derek didn't even apologize. He just stared at his empty cups. Great. Now I have to go get more coffee. Can someone move him out of the way? We have a guest coming. Walter didn't argue. He didn't complain. He simply kneeled down, picked up his mop, and began cleaning the mess without saying a single word. A small crowd had gathered near the elevators, phones half raised, some people snickering, a few looking away because it felt wrong to watch. Nobody stepped in to help him. The office manager, a sharp-dressed woman named Ms. Faulkner, came rushing over. Her face was red with stress. We cannot have this mess when the investor arrives, she said. Someone get security. Get him out of this hallway, now. A security guard named Rico approached Walter, looking uncomfortable. Sorry, Walter, Rico said quietly. They want the hallway clear. Walter nodded and stood up slowly, holding his mop. His shirt was stained with coffee. His hands were shaking slightly, but his face stayed calm. It's all right, Walter said softly. I understand. He started to walk toward the service elevator, ready to disappear the way he always did. That was when a black car pulled up outside the building. Through the tall glass windows, everyone in the lobby saw it. A long black car, polished so clean it reflected the morning sun, rolled to a stop right in front of the main entrance. Employees stopped what they were doing. Even Ms. Faulkner froze, smoothing down her jacket, plastering on her best smile. The CEO of Harlan Tower, a man named Mr. Bardwell, came rushing down from his office, straightening his tie as he walked. He's here, Mr. Bardwell whispered. Everyone looked sharp. The driver stepped out first. He walked calmly around to the passenger side and opened the door. Everyone in the lobby leaned forward slightly, waiting to see the powerful investor step out. But nobody was ready for what happened next. The passenger door opened. A man stepped out, wearing a plain gray coat over a coffee-stained shirt. For a moment, nobody understood what they were looking at. Then someone in the lobby gasped. It was Walter. The same Walter who had just been laughed at in the hallway. The same Walter who mopped the floors before sunrise. The same man security had just been told to remove. He walked through the front doors, nodded politely to the driver, and stepped into the lobby like he had done it 1,000 times before. Mr. Bardwell's smile disappeared completely. His face went pale. "Walter," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Walter smiled gently. "Good morning, Mr. Bardwell," he said. "I believe we have a meeting." The entire lobby fell into complete, total silence. 25 years earlier, Walter had started a small repair shop with nothing but a toolbox and a rented garage. Over the next 15 years, that small shop grew into a chain of successful businesses. Walter built them slowly, carefully, and honestly. He paid his workers fairly. He treated every customer with respect. Eventually, he sold those businesses for a very large amount of money. He didn't need to work another day in his life. But Walter didn't disappear into luxury. Instead, he started something different, a private fund that only invested in companies that treated their workers well. Not companies with the best numbers on paper. Companies with the best character. And the only way to truly find that out, Walter believed, was to see how a company treated someone who didn't know they were being watched. So for the past 3 weeks, Walter had been coming to Harlan Tower, as the cleaner. Miss Faulkner's hands were trembling. Derek, the young employee who had spilled the coffee, looked like he wanted to sink into the floor. You're the investor?" Mr. Bardwell asked, still stunned. "I am," Walter said. "For the last 3 weeks, I mopped your floors, cleaned your bathrooms, and emptied your trash bins. I watched how this company really works, not the version you show to guests, but the version that happens every single day when no one important is watching." He looked around slowly at the crowd that had gathered. "This morning, a young man knocked coffee onto my shirt. That happens. Accidents happen. That wasn't the problem." He paused. "The problem was what happened after. Nobody asked if I was okay. Nobody helped me clean it up. Instead, I was called old man, laughed at, and told to get out of the way, all so this hallway could look perfect for someone you thought was more important than me." The silence in the room was heavier than before. Derek, still holding his empty coffee cups, took a shaky step forward. "Mr. Walter, sir, I'm so sorry," he said. "I wasn't even looking. I was just trying to impress I didn't know." "That's exactly the point," Walter said gently, not angrily. "You didn't know. None of you knew. And that's what I needed to see. Not how you treat someone you believe is powerful. How you treat someone you believe is nobody." Derek looked down at the floor, his face burning with shame. "I really am sorry," he said quietly. "Not because of who you turned out to be. Just because of how I treated you. That was wrong, no matter who you were." Walter studied him for a moment, then nodded slowly. "That," Walter said, "is the first honest thing anyone has said to me all morning." Mr. Bardwell, still pale, cleared his throat. "Walter, I don't know what to say. If we did anything to offend you, I take full responsibility. Please, let's discuss the investment in my office." Walter shook his head slowly. "There's nothing to discuss, Mr. Bardwell. I already made my decision an hour ago, before the coffee spilled." The room tensed. "I'm not investing in Harlan Tower," Walter said. Gasps rippled through the lobby. Ms. Faulkner covered her mouth. Mr. Bardwell's shoulders dropped. However, Walter continued, I noticed something else during my 3 weeks here. A young security guard named Rico, who always greeted me by name and asked about my day. A cleaner on the 3rd floor, Marta, who saved half her lunch every day to share with a stray cat outside. And a junior employee, Priya, who stayed late twice last week to help a coworker finish a report, expecting nothing in return. He looked at Mr. Bardwell directly. Character exists in this building. It's just not being led properly. Fix that, starting from the top, and come find me in 6 months. I'll take another look. Walter turned to leave, then stopped and looked back one more time. I'm not telling you this to shame anyone, he said. I once worked long hours in a garage where nobody knew my name either. I remember exactly how it feels to be invisible. I'm telling you this because it's not too late to change it. He walked toward the door, then paused beside Derek one last time. Next time, Walter said, not unkindly, slow down. Look at the person in front of you before you look at who might be watching. Derek nodded, unable to speak. Walter walked out to the black car. The driver opened the door for him. And just like that, he was gone. 6 months later, Harlan Tower looked different. Ms. Faulkner had started a simple new policy: every employee, no matter their job title, was introduced by name during the weekly meeting. Mr. Bardwell personally thanked the cleaning staff every single morning, something he had never done before. Derek had changed the most. He arrived early most days now, and he was the first to help anyone struggling, whether they were an executive or an intern. One morning, a black car pulled up outside the building again. This time, everyone noticed immediately. But this time, nobody rushed to impress anyone. They simply kept doing what they had already been doing. Walter walked in, wearing his same plain gray coat. He watched quietly for an hour, unnoticed at first, then smiled to himself. Later that day, Walter sat down with Mr. Bardwell. I've seen enough, Walter said. You didn't just fix the hallway for my visit. You fixed the way people treat each other when no one is watching at all. That's what I was really looking for. He signed the investment agreement that afternoon. But before he left, he stopped by the break room, where Derek was pouring 2 cups of coffee. Derek looked up, surprised. Then he smiled and held 1 cup out. Coffee, sir. I promise I won't spill it this time. Walter laughed, a real, warm laugh, and took the cup. Just Walter, he said. Not sir. Character isn't shown in the moments people plan for. It's shown in the moments they don't. Walter didn't need the money, and he didn't need the apology. He only needed to know that somewhere, in a busy office full of rushing people, kindness still meant something. Sometimes, the most powerful person in the room is the one nobody thinks to look at.